Back everybody inside the ropes. I'm joined by the one and only, the phenomenal one, ajstyles. How you doing?
I'm good.
So we've met before at
Yes.
5-Star Wrestling back in the day. I want to talk to you today about some of your WrestleMania matches.
Okay.
2017, you and Shane McMahon.
Yes.
I think a lot of people weren't expecting that match to be one of the matches of the night on that show. Did you kind of know that going in, that maybe people weren't going to be expecting you and Shane to kill it as much as you guys did?
Well, the expectations for that match to be good were low in the first place, so I think that helped. But Shane is a perfectionist, and we went over that and did what we needed to do to make sure that it was as good as it possibly could be. And Shane's an athlete too. There's no doubt about that. We had a great match, and it was fun. Had a good time. The storyline, was definitely something that we needed going into WrestleMania, and it was done perfectly. So yeah, I mean, I expected it to be great, but not that well.
It's interesting though, because people think of you as this kind of like, going in there and having these like killer matches technically and all that kind of stuff. So then to be put in there with Shane, who's not a full-time wrestler, is that like a challenge sometimes? Do you feel that way?
Listen, I'm not going to treat any match any different. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to try to have the best match that I can with what I have. And again, Shane being the perfectionist that he was, he made it a lot easier than it should have been.
And then obviously the Undertaker match, the Boneyard match at WrestleMania 36. What's fascinating about that is that you guys were going to have a regular match before COVID. I mean, what kind of goes through your mind when you think about that, of like what it became and what it would have been in front of a crowd?
Well, the fact that we had so much chemistry in that Boneyard match was unbelievable. So to be able to have that in a ring in front of people, how much different would it have been? I don't think that was part of the, I don't think it was part of God's plan. I mean, I think it happened exactly the way that it was supposed to, and it was a memorable moment that you and I are now talking about today. So we must have done something right.
And when all the COVID stuff hit, and then you guys find out there's no WrestleMania in a stadium, what was your kind of thought process of like, what are we going to do here?
Well, that's exactly my thought process. It was like, what are we going to do? And they said Boneyard match, and I go, wait a minute, a cinematic match. Oh, this might save the whole thing, and it did. I mean, not save the whole WrestleMania, but for me, that match with a guy that I hoped to get in the ring with, it saved what we needed to do. And again, it was a moment I'll never forget, and the praise that we got for doing it is unbelievable.
And it was his last match. Did he have kind of kind words for you that he was able to go out on such a high?
Say that again?
Did he have kind words for you that you guys were able to go out on such a high for his last match?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have to say anything, because we both knew as we were doing it, like, oh, okay, we got chemistry here, And at the end, I signed my gloves that I wore in the Boneyard match, and I gave them to him. And then a couple weeks later, he signed his and sent them to me. So I have his gloves from his last match that we had in the Boneyard. It's pretty awesome.
Last question, obviously Bray Wyatt, tragic that he passed away last. The documentary's amazing. You did get to work with him a little bit. Have you got any kind of memories of Bray that you can share?
That this guy was always, it just seemed like he was always in a good mood, like we always had a good time when we were around him, and he's one of those guys that everybody wanted to be around. He was a great guy. We had fun together, and I'm going to miss him.
And very last thing, you've done everything in WWE. You've actually been in WWE longer than TNA, which is wild to think about. Is there anything left that you want to do?
I don't know that's true.
Are we not getting there now? Because it's 2016, so it would be 8. Oh no, it would be 10 years.
So yeah, I was with TNA for 11. Okay. So it's definitely close. Did I have more matches in WWE? 100%. But nevertheless, that's a long time to be anywhere, and to do it with two different companies, for such a long time is pretty special.
And is there anything left you want to do in WWE, like to tick off the list? Because you've done pretty much everything.
I mean, there's always going to be something, right? We're always going to want to, say I won the Royal Rumble, or whatever it is. But I've done so much. I got to be happy with where I'm at some point. And but I at this point, I just want to help develop other talent, and do what I can to make sure that when I leave, there's more to come. There's people that got more benefit out of me being here and getting better than when I left it, right? Like, it's better than when I left it. That's what I like. I don't know if that's good. That came out really wrong. Like,
no, I get it.
Like, I went this way just to get. I could just went straight and said that, but I don't know why I did.
There's more to come.
There you go.